the president said something I thought a little shocking in the press conference. While he was in a press conference with Pam Bondi, it was not a press conference, it was a cabinet meeting. And by the way, this press conference lasted about 2 hours, which is longer than I believe all of the cabinet meetings that Joe Biden held over 4 years. All of them combined. I think just the press conference in that cabinet room was longer. But he starts out, and one of the first questions is about Epstein, and goes to Pam Bondi. And the president stops dead in his tracks. And do we have the audio, please? Here's what he said.
Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
Yeah, sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
Okay. That seemed odd to me, because he ran on Jeffrey Epstein. He ran on, I'm going to release everything. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. He feels he did release everything. There's nothing to see here. Okay. And if that is true, then quite honestly, I stand by what I said yesterday. Pam Bondi should be fired for the way she rolled this out. It was horrible. It's one of the worst rollouts of quote unquote the truth I've ever seen. Just the videotape alone. Now, she came out and she said, well, there's that 1 minute. Okay, that's fine. That 1 minute, I don't think is enough to show, anything. It was edited, we thought, yesterday. And she said it comes out and every year or every day there's a reset just before midnight. I checked with, security experts. That's absolutely true. Not all systems do that, but some systems do. There's a whole bunch of things we could go down that road on, but we don't need to. But why wouldn't you say that? How did you miss that 1 minute? Okay. Second thing, it's not pointing at the door. It shows nothing. But we can nitpick for everything. I personally think we have seen a massive change in the White House and in the way this was being handled. At first, we're going to release everything. And then I have it on my desk. Then I have it on my desk, and I'm going to release it probably tomorrow. And then when that didn't happen, then it was the FBI in New York. This is all Pam Bondi. The FBI in New York is thwarting our efforts, and there are people in New York that are trying to keep this information away from us. And now there's nothing. Nobody was arrested for trying to keep information away from her. Well, what is that? That's mass incompetence. So she should be fired. He's not going to fire her. Because I think there's also something else going on. I think, and people are like, well, that's Donald Trump. That's because his name is in it. No, it's not. If you believe Donald Trump, the guy has models hanging off of every single finger that he has. If he wants the models, he's got the models. And they're all over age. And it doesn't seem to me that he's ever shown any. I mean, just that's stupid to believe that he would be with a 15-year-old girl. Stupid. Are there people like that? Yeah, I don't think he's one of them. And he had a falling out with Jeffrey Epstein and everything else. So I just don't believe that is the deal. And I think you're wildly misguided if you do. But to each his own, I guess. Now, what do I think possibly happened? I personally believe that he was an operative. I think he was an intelligence operative. And, you can say all you want, but when you're president of the United States and the intelligence agencies come to you and sit you down and say, okay, here's what happens, Mr. President, when you release this. You have, let's just say, there wasn't 5,000 people involved. There was four. One of them was Prince Andrew. Okay? So, all right, go ahead, release that. You know what that says? That says that he was an operative working for us, and Prince Andrew was caught in this honey trap. So now the United States of America just took one of their biggest, oldest allies and roped this guy into a honey trap. For what? For what, Mr. President? For what? I don't know for what. Yeah, well, maybe we got nothing out of that, but this was a CIA operation. And it just happened to backfire on our biggest ally. Do you think the world is going to stand for that with everything else that we've done? No, I don't. Now, I don't know what decision I would make if I were president of the United States. I would hope that I would say, release it, because we have to clean it up. Not my fault. Not my fault. Happened years ago. We're not doing it anymore, and I'm making sure, and the only way to make sure that we disinfect is to fire all the people that were involved, make sure that it doesn't happen again, and make an example out of people. That's what I would hope I would do. That's what I would hope the president would do. But I have a feeling that he's not afraid of him being exposed. He's not afraid of him being killed by the CIA. I think he is making a decision that he believes is right for the country. But he's not going to say that. Now, why would I jump to this conclusion? Because Donald Trump is a very, very, very smart guy, and he knows how to handle the press and everything else. What did he do? Instead of saying, Pam, you blew this rolling out. Look, America, there's nothing going on here. There's nothing going on. And I'm going to get to work, on other things, but I understand, because we talked about it on the campaign trail. So I understand your interest in this, but there's nothing. Instead, what he said was, what a stupid question that is. Have you ever heard of a dumber question? With all the stuff that's going on. Pam, do you even want to answer that dumb question? Yeah, I'll take it, Mr. President. And then looking right at the reporter, I can't believe you even asked that question. What a stupid question that is. What did he just do? He made sure in that room there was only one question about Epstein. Had he not done that, there would have been follow-up questions. What Donald Trump just did was single one reporter out and say, you're going to be that stupid to ask that question. Now nobody wants to ask the follow-up question. And only a few people will. Now, I'm not a reporter. We will continue to follow this story. But I have a feeling until you have somebody like Schellenberger that are going to dedicate their whole thing to exposing this, because I do think there's stuff here. But until you have Schellenberger or somebody like that going after it and really doing 24/7 kind of gumshoe work, I don't think you're going to find anything else. Nothing else is coming from the government. That was clear yesterday. That's all you get. That's it. It's over. Move on. I don't suggest we move on, but that's all the information we're going to get officially.